Gary, it was a crazy game of footy in round 15 as we went down to the Northern Blues after the siren. Considering the circumstances, I'd imagine disappointment would be the overriding emotion for you at the moment.
Yeah, it is, Sammy, and also too pretty upset about what we're doing at the minute as well, from a coach to obviously his players, and hopefully the players are feeling pretty much the same. So coming off the bye, we allowed the Northern Blues to dictate terms in that first quarter. Our kick to handball ratio at one stage was 1-for-1, and that's primarily in relation to the players. They're not handling the pressure or the heat that the Northern Blues brought, and our inability to defend all over the ground was very, very amateurish and really disappointing. Once we win the ball, we're okay, but things like being able to defend aerially, or when the Northern Blues were controlling the play with hit-ups, and our inability to actually surge out of stoppages defensively. We fumbled, ball security, and it was embarrassing really, mate, at quarter time. You know, what were they, 4 goals, 5? And then we asked the players at quarter time that we wanted some simple things done, and we get 30 seconds into the second quarter, and of course we just go against what we wanted. And at one stage there, with about 5 minutes into the second quarter, I think it was 6 goals, 5 to 1 goal. So then we made some things in relation to structurally different. Lyle went into the ruck with Heratuku, and we had some other players in and around the ball who created some contests, and we just sort of brought the game back to a level of just contesting and competing. We allowed them to kick really cheap goals in the last minute of the second quarter, third quarter, and obviously subsequently the one that won them the game. And for us to then get to a point where we probably didn't deserve really to be in a position to win the game with 44 seconds to go, and we just made some really poor decisions and errors that ultimately cost us the game.
We can all analyse and isolate that final few minutes, but the starts are a bit of an area that need addressing now too, aren't they? There's probably been a few occasions now this season where we've shot ourselves in the foot by having to play catch-up footy for most of the day.
Yeah, that's true, and I've always thought that's an individual thing, players' preparation. So a role as a coach is maybe to motivate to a degree, but ultimately it comes back to the professionalism, I think, of the players, and you're spot on. It certainly is something that we've tried to address. I don't think our trainings on the Thursday night or the Friday night before a Sunday or a Saturday game have been anything of a real high quality, and I think some players just ultimately feel they can run out on a Saturday or a Sunday and at 2 o'clock, and of course I'm just going to be able to wave the magic wand, and we know that doesn't happen. If you want to go and get a magic wand, go and watch Harry Potter and or read a fairy tale book, but we're in the real world here, and this is going to hurt a lot because of the substandard performances that we're putting out there. And okay, everyone can get excited about getting back into a position, but we're still, again, defensively as a group, we're disrespecting what we do here, we're disrespecting the opposition, and we're just applying ourselves in a manner of too much pressure, and it's not necessarily what the opposition are doing, but we're contributing to that in a big way. So there's maybe a night of home truths being told in the review today.
And I suppose on a more positive note, we singled it out specifically in the after-match function, but great to see Isaac Conway make his return to the Borough after 12 months out, and he certainly played his part as well, didn't he? He showed off all the reasons why we've probably missed him so dearly over the last 12 months. Yeah,
well, that's true, and the bottom line is that Izzy is a competitor, and I think there's probably another 15 or 16 guys that are currently in the team that could certainly take a leaf out of Izzy's book about how to contest and compete, and to me that's just a mindset, and this game is going to be judged on who can mentally, or who can be mentally tough, and some players are unfortunately missing the boat in that regard. I thought our co-captains in Geordie Lyle and Tommy O'Sullivan tried pretty hard as well, and certainly Izzy. Considering the guys that we brought back, I think Heratuku will be better for the run, DVU will be better for the run. Signorello came in and contributed a bit, shows his form at home club land has been pretty solid, but some of the other boys who we know can perform better are just not in good form.
And we've now got to arrest that form slump pretty quickly, don't we? It won't be easy coming up against Werribee on their home deck this Saturday, who are going to be similarly hungry under Choco, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, that's an often used word, hungry, and certainly Werribee's form has been really, really competitive, and they've certainly been more competitive than us. Footy can turn around pretty quickly, but it's only if you want to do that. We can sit here and come up with all the bells and whistles and describe what is really out there, and of course, but also too, it's got to be an honest approach to wanting to improve. And the group at the minute needs to have a good hard look at what they're doing and looking to turn it around pretty quickly.
Well, Gary, bad luck on the result on the weekend, but hopefully yourself and the coaches can have a good week on the track and bounce back pretty strongly down at Werribee this Saturday. Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, Sammy.